This movie had me just going through it. Just give me all of the tissue. All of the tissue. Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. I'm gonna get into a review of the movie Just Mercy. I came into this movie not really knowing what it was about. I actually heard about it. I actually heard about it while I was watching an episode of Righteous and Ratchet starring Kev on Stage and Doughboy. And you know, they were talking about it and I was like, I want to watch this movie. I have no clue what it's about, but I want to watch it. And so that's what I did. What makes this movie even more like just is that like it's a true story. So the attorney Bryan Stevenson, the actual attorney, he actually wrote a book called Just Mercy, and so they adapted that book into a film. So I would assume that there are some things that may be more dramatized for the sake of it being a movie. It follows Bryan Stevenson as he's like leaving school and he's graduated from Harvard and he got this grant from the government to sort of start some type of initiative. So he decides that he's gonna take this money, go to a small town in Alabama, and he's going to just provide representation for people who don't have the access to great representation, whether it's because of money, status, or race. And so he comes in contact with these men that are on death row, primarily Johnny D, aka Walter McMillan. And Walter has been in jail for a couple years now, and he's been charged with the murder of a young lady named Rhonda Morrison. And he's got convicted based on the testimony of another convict, Ralph Myers. And long story short, Bryan Stevenson has to go through, I'm talking about like so much, so many trials and tribulations just to try to help these men. And even on his first day when he comes to meet with his new clients, you know, they strip search him. And I feel like in that moment you just automatically can see like just the degradation of him as a man, and all he's trying to do is help. He meets Walter, and Walter kind of just looks like, you know, man, listen, all these attorneys have come in here and tried to help me, but you don't understand. I'm a black man, I'm in Alabama, there's nothing that you can do for me. They already have their idea of me. It's best that I stay in here. He has no hope. And you know, eventually what happens is he starts to believe in Bryan. He's like, wait, but Bryan went, you know, you went to go visit my family, you went all the way down there that dirt road, and that meant a lot to me. And the fact that you cared enough to do that, maybe you care enough, and maybe you can at least try. So he gives him the opportunity to try to help him. And it's hard. It's hard. He oh my goodness, so many things he tried to do got denied. There were times I thought, okay, that's gonna work, and it didn't. Even like his other client, Herbert Richardson, like, you know, I just knew that he was gonna be able to get him off. No, you know, and we watch somebody go to the electric chair and die, and like all because the courts just refused, you know. And it's not to say that what he did was right, it's not to say that, oh, it was okay, but there was so much that wasn't being taken into consideration in a lot of these cases. So let's get into the acting. I feel like Michael B. Jordan, anytime it's like a real story, like even like Fruitvale Station, loved him in that, I feel like he shines through so much more. I feel like he really gets to just showcase his talent. I mean, I haven't seen all of his movies, but I feel like I can say that I feel that he's very, 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 very talented when it comes to giving what is necessary to a role that is telling a true story. Now, the great man, Jamie Foxx, I just feel like, I don't know, maybe people do give him his credit, but like, I feel like that man is due a lot more. Like, you think about him and Ray You think about even from the Jamie Foxx TV show, like that man has range. Like he can, oh my goodness, like he just, okay, like he has range. There's no denying his talent. And even in this movie, I feel like he's not in your face. He's not in your face, like giving you much. Like he's very held back and reserved, but that too translates across the screen. That's like, but that too also translates across the screen, and it gives you a sense of Johnny D's mental state, his emotional state, almost like his place where he's already given up, like, you know, and his non-in-your-faceness, because I can't think of the word right now, but his non-in-your-faceness adds so much more dimension to him as a character. I feel like even all of the supporting cast, Brie Larson, O'Shea Jackson, Rob Morgan, and Tim Nelson, like they really hold down their characters. Even the guy who played the district attorney, watching his character's internal struggle between like choosing what to do as right or what to do just to appease the people that he's been chosen to represent. And I feel like that those complexities, and it just showed like they really got to give you so much of the human experience. And there are moments where you're sitting there and you're like, I'm talking about just, I had tears just running down my face. Like when Richardson died, yo. But then like at the same time, it's like you were feeling this, it's like it was such a terrible moment. But then at the same time, he was so supported. He felt like, you know, he wasn't going out alone. And I feel like just in any human experience, you would feel glad. Talk a little bit about the costumes and wardrobe. Like, I know the times were the times, but I just feel like Jamie's wig could have been a little bit better, just a little bit better. Aside from that, I feel like the way that they dressed, obviously, I mean, I feel like it was on point for the times that they were portraying. And like they even had Michael B. Jordan in his Cortez Nikes, his Nike Cortezes. So yeah, they had him wearing those, and like, you know, because those was popping back then. And so yeah, I mean, like for the time, I think they represented that very well. So I mean, I'm just gonna tell y'all how I felt about the movie. Okay, I felt like the movie was a very good movie. It left me really feeling like, what can you do? In what ways can you help? It really reminded me of a lot of the things and stories that I've heard about the Innocence Project, and how just so many people are in jail, in prison, who have been killed, who are on death row, who, you know, just their lives have been taken away from them for like based on foolishness. I felt like too, the movie like really shows how our legal system is so much based literally on a presentation. I don't know that it's always just the facts. Like, so much is about presentation, because even when you saw they went to 60 Minutes, and when that happened, I was like, yo, that was such a boss move, because now you're changing the public's perception of this story. If the general public is saying, maybe Johnny D didn't do it, like, it plants that seed of doubt now. And now it's not so much, oh, I know he did it. I feel like too, another person that didn't really get vindication or justice in this situation is Rhonda Morrison. Law enforcement there didn't do their due diligence in trying to figure out who actually murdered this girl. They knew that their time was coming, like a lot of time had passed since she had been murdered, and they just needed to put somebody in jail for it, because, you know, we need to have answers. This community is hurting. And that happens so many times that it really doesn't make any sense. It's so like, it just hurts, you know what I'm saying? Like, it really hurts to know that people would just rather just put somebody in jail based off foolishness. The fact that Sheriff Tate like got reelected 6 more times. That man just retired in 2019. Nothing happened to him. Nothing happened to him. This man was able to literally just fabricate stuff, violate laws, violate people's human rights, violate, even when he transferred Myers to the jail, to death row, because he knew that he had a fear of being burnt, and like messed with him psychologically so that he could get him to lie and say that he saw that man do that. Like, and he just sat there and got reelected 6 more times. I feel like that is so telling of how, like, if it's not somebody who they find valuable, it don't matter what you do to them. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, it just doesn't matter. And I don't know, there's gonna be moments, I feel like there's so many moments in this movie where I got mad, where I was just like, I was so mad that all I could do was cry. I don't know what else to say. I mean, I thought it was a great movie. Sometimes I don't know if I should force myself to watch these things, because I take stuff like that like very heavy, and I take it on, and I feel like as if it's me, you know. Like I feel it, like I really feel it. Even Ray Hinton's story, like that man spent 30 years in jail. That is my whole entire life. That man was in jail for my entire life. I can't even fully wrap my mind around that, for something that he didn't need to be in there for. There's no retribution for that. There's nothing. You can give people millions of dollars. There's no retribution. There's nothing. There's just nothing that can pay you back for that. And like, even McMillan, even Johnny D, my man got out, and like, I mean, thank God he got out, but then like a couple years later, he died. Like, what is life? But no, Tate is still out here getting elected and living his best life, and gets to retire probably with all his pension, all his everything, and just gets to go on and sleep at night with the fan on medium. I don't understand. I don't. And that's just where it's at. Because I'm about to get mad again. And so, I mean, you definitely should watch this movie. I don't care who you are, you should watch this movie, because like I can appreciate another story being told, a different story being told. And the acting is stellar, it's amazing. And I feel like they did the story justice. And they did the story, I feel like they did the story very well, and they paid it its very due respect. And so yeah, if only they could figure out who murdered Rhonda Morrison. You know, Tate was there for all them years after. Did he ever figure it out? No? Okay, well, that's all I have to say about that. Great movie, very moving movie, very thought-provoking movie. I would love for us to have some dialogue and discourse further beyond this video. If you saw this movie, let me know what you thought about it. What was the most, like, you know, impactful part to you, and what did you like, what didn't you like, what would you have liked to see? And let me know in the comments. Let's start the chit chat going. And thank you guys so much for watching. Oh, sorry, I didn't rate it. I would rate this movie a good 4.5. 4.5. I give it an A. It's a good movie. It's a good movie. It's a good movie. It's very much worth watching. So yeah, let me know what you guys think about it in the comments. Let me know what it stirred up for you, what you started thinking about. Have you ever seen this type of experience? Has this type of experience happened to you or someone in your family? Let me know. Let me know. We can talk about it, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.